Do you ever just have too much time on your hands, you don't know what to do with it, and you're just laying around thinking, what am I gonna do? Or better yet, do you just look outside the window, hold your head, and just say, what the fuck am I doing? Well, oh boy, do I have a game for you that's gonna make you Minecraft run to your room so much faster than you ever thought you could, and it's gonna make you yippee! And then immediately after, just rush to put your headset on, just start the game, and go, fuck yeah. Welcome yourself to Albion Online. That's enough with the cinematics. Let's get into what this video is actually about. A quick start guide to Albion Online. Before we start this video, however, I would like to ask you for one quick little favor. If you're not subscribed, please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and click the notification bell if you want to be notified for future uploads. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's continue. Before we continue with the game itself, I would like to add a little preface about what your expected playtime per day is and how the community is like. So your expected playtime per day is going to range from about 1 to 6 hours depending on what you do, whether you would like to be in a guild, whether you would like to gather, whether you would just like to, chill out and have some fun in the game. But it is going to take you anywhere from an hour to 6 or 12. It really depends on what you do and for how long you want to do that. We will kind of get into this in the video, but don't expect this to be that much in detail as to the expected playtime per day. The community is actually very strange, curious, and unexpected, is in my opinion. I once came across a guy who wanted to be my trainee in a way, and he wanted to RP being my trainee. So that was interesting to say the least. But anyway, there are many toxic players as with any MMORPG, but there will be some players who are going to genuinely help you out and who are actually going to be very kind and supportive to you. Those are the players you want to be in a guild with, and if they don't have a guild, maybe try and consider forming one with them, because they are the players that will actually genuinely help you and will make you grow in the game. With the preface out of the way, what's the first thing you must do when you start up an MMORPG? Create your character. So that's what we're going to do right now. Character creation in Albion Online is actually really simple. There are 11 male and 11 female presets to choose from. You can choose 6 different face styles. You can choose skin color, hairstyle, hair color, undergarment type, and undergarment color. And then you can also randomize if you're sick and tired of MMORPGs just forcing this on you, or if you like it, you can spend an hour customizing it. And then you choose a name, which is probably the hardest part because you have to choose one that no one else has chosen before. After making your beautiful character, you have 2 choices. Would you like to play the game without premium, or... Premium is pretty much just like a really big boost to your actual gameplay experience. You get 30 learning points per day, 10,000 crafting focus, increased skill progression, ability to buy a player island, which is actually amazing. You get more silver, you get more gathering yield, you get more farming yield, reduced market tax, just all the things that actually make the game a lot easier. The first thing you're going to want to do when you're a new player, 1, and 2, when you started a new character, is actually complete the tutorial. If you're a seasoned veteran and you're just watching this video for fun, you don't have to do this, obviously. But if you're a new player, you might as well do it. I'm not going to do it here to kind of just give you that experience yourself. I'm just going to go on to the actual game and the later stages of it. Welcome to the Royal Continent. After finishing your tutorial, you can choose between 5 places where you would like to start your game. I chose Mountain Cross because I like Fort Sterling, and I do recommend starting in a place that is close to your preferred base of choice. You can also start in Swamp Cross, which is close to Thetford. You can start in Highland Cross, which is close to Martlock. You can start in Steppe Cross, which is close to Bridgewatch, or you can start in Forest Cross, which is close to Lyndhurst. I recommend doing your own research as to what these cities can offer you and what you would like to actually do in the game. Before you do anything, you need silver to actually buy stuff on the auction house and to speed up the process of leveling. So what you do is you come over here to this guy with the hammer and the pickaxe, and you can look at what materials you need to use to make a pickaxe or an axe or a skinning knife or a hammer, whatever, doesn't matter. Choose a pickaxe, gather 3 of these and 3 of these, which you're going to do by coming over to these rough logs and rough stone, and just gathering 3 of them, coming back here, crafting one, and then going out to gather some copper. For the reference, copper looks like this. It's brownish, whatever, and it just has 2 of these protrusions. You mine these, you come over to the auction house, which is going to be over here, and you just go ahead and sell it. You make some silver, and then we can actually get started on the leveling aspect of the game. So we continue our journey where we left off, at the auction house. So you just go ahead and type in broadsword, you select tier 1, actually, which you're going to start with. You buy one of these, and then you just go ahead and kill some mobs. You come back here, you go to tier 2. You come back here after you killed some mobs and you leveled up to tier 3. You select a tier 3 sword. You buy this, you kill some mobs. You come back here, you buy a tier 4. Not a broadsword though. Open up your destiny board with B, and you can go over here. Or not, sorry, here. And then you can see that there are actually a lot more sword options that you can choose from. And I actually lied about the tier 3 sword, because you can pretty much choose any of these, which you would like to specialize in, but that is completely up to you. You can choose sword, battle axe, mace, hammer, brawler gloves, or a crossbow. And then you just level that up until tier 4, and yeah, you just stick with that until you get tired of it, and then you just switch to whatever you want, pretty much. Keep in mind that you can also do this the more grindy but less costly way by actually gathering the materials needed to craft your specific weapon of choice. Do keep in mind though that once you level things up to tier 5, a lot more doors will open themselves up to you, because then you can reliably do PvP content, for example, corrupted dungeons, but I will explain everything like that later. And you can also do PvE content at the same time. However, you need a reliable set of armor, which you can do by looking up your preferred weapon of choice, and then just do build Albion. That is literally the simplest way to do it, and there are a lot more people with a lot more knowledge than me who will actually tell you why you have to choose the armor that they tell you to choose. And then once you're set with that, and the leveling process is kind of out of the way, you kind of learn your weapon a little bit, you're ready to move on to the more exciting phase, the actual content that makes up Albion Online. In my opinion, there are 3 paths that you can choose. One is gathering, the second is PvP, and the third is PvE. Gathering is probably going to take up most of your time because you have to consistently gather, and you consistently have to refine as well if you want to make a decent profit. If you want to look at a more in-depth analysis of how much profit you can expect, take a look at my previous video about how to make silver in Albion Online. Now you actually have a lot of different options for PvP. You can do open world in red and black zones for full loot, or you can do yellow zones for not full loot. You can do corrupted dungeons, which either comes in full loot or not full loot forms. You can also do Hellgates with 2, 5, or 10 players that comes in full loot and not full loot forms. You can do guild battles, you can do arenas, you can have a lot of different types of PvP if you're into this. PvE is a lot more simple and it's not nearly as infuriating as PvP. It also has open world forms, it has dungeon forms, you can do solo dungeons, you can do group dungeons, and you can also take down open world big bosses if you'd like. But yeah, overall, it's just not as infuriating as PvP, but it's still fun if you like the PvE aspect. So all these things that I just told you are going to increase your fame and your combat fame. Your fame is useful for your adventurer ranking, which the higher it goes, the higher tier mounts you can get, the higher tier bags, the higher tier capes, stuff like that. Your combat fame is going to increase your weapon level and your weapon specialization. The higher your weapon mastery level, the higher tier you can get. Now, if you want to switch to a different type of weapon, you're going to have to go through this leveling process over and over again, as I told you before, but it's fine if you like the leveling aspect. You just have to watch out for how much combat fame a dungeon gives you, how much combat fame a corrupted dungeon gives you, stuff like that. But the higher the combat fame, the quicker your leveling process is going to be. Now, one thing that I did not mention is your private island. On your private island, you can do herbalism, you can do crop gathering, you can do animal farming, anything you want. And with that, I actually also recommend a profession, which is actually what I wanted to talk about next. So there are several different professions that you can choose from. You can become a weapon crafter, you can become a leather, plate, or cloth armor crafter, anything you really want to choose. And these also tie in really, really well to your gathering. So once you gather, you refine them, and you can craft pretty much anything that you're going to specialize in. And that's going to reduce the sort of cost of that even more. Now, the last thing that I have to mention in Albion Online is guilds. You can have a lot of different things with guilds. For example, guild battles, ZVZs. There's just a shit ton of things that you can do. You can also take over strongholds with your guilds, but the main aspect of a guild is for you to be in a community that is going to be supportive, that is going to be kind to you, and that is going to uplift you and sort of show you the way. Because most likely when you join a guild, there are going to be players that are a lot more experienced than you, that have a lot more influence, a lot more power, and they are actually going to be your mentors, and they are going to actually show you the game for what it is. That's why it's actually very important to join a guild, and it is a shame that I haven't joined one yet, because I probably should. But that's enough of me. Go and join a guild as soon as you can. And if you get an invite to a guild, join it. Who cares? You can leave it, and then you can join another one. It's fine. When you get an invite, join the guild, and they will help you with the game. But all in all, Albion is a game for you to figure out, for you to discover, and for you to try out different things, and for you to build your own journey, because that's where Albion shines. Literally, you can choose a weapon type, and a minute later you can be like, yeah, I don't like this, and just switch to a whole different class. That's what most MMORPGs don't have. If you want to do that, you have to create a whole new character. That's what Albion shines in, and that's why Albion is subjectively better than other MMORPGs, because you can just create your own journey, you can switch weapons, switch anything, anytime you want. You just have to spend some time to level that up. But that's literally it. You don't have to create a new character, you don't have to start your leveling process over and over again in every single aspect. This video was literally meant just as a very quick start guide for you to kind of get the hang of Albion, and I really hope that I was able to provide you with enough information for you to start your journey in Albion if you like it. If you have any other questions regarding the video or Albion Online or any other questions like that, feel free to leave some comments in the comments below, and I will be sure to answer your comments, questions, anything you have, and I hope that I can do that with great detail. If you would also like to, you can look at other Albion creators. They will probably tell you a bunch more stuff, even better. For example, I know Swole Benji has a lot of good PvP content, ganking content, stuff like that. So you can also take a look at him. And he's just one example, but there is a lot more Albion creators that you can take a look at. But yeah, with that, I would like to thank you for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you want to become a part of this growing community. And yeah, with that, I will see you guys in 2024. Bye-bye.